All right, all right, all right, all right. What's up, everybody? I'm going to get set up in just a second and we'll get rocking. All right. Gonna start in 1 sec. All right, just getting everything set up here. One more second. All right, cool. Hello, friends. We're back again. Gonna do another live stream of some echo movement drumming stuff. Let me come say hi real quick and just make sure everything's working okay. What's up, Enrique? All right, all right, all right, all right. Cool. Hi, everybody. Hi, Naomi. What's up, Gino? How you doing? All right. Cool. Hope everybody's doing really well. Really looking forward to getting started and all that good stuff. So let's not wait. I got some more tunes today. I picked them out and practiced them. I remember them for the most part. I might make a mistake here or there, but and I have some lyrics written down, and we'll talk some shop. I took some notes too to make sure I don't forget anything. So the first song I'm just gonna start playing right away. Kind of a warm-up song, nothing too crazy. This is a song called One Shot. This is a song that is like one of the first echo movement songs ever, actually. Dave and Steve did it on their own on a first album they recorded all by themselves, and it kind of went through this evolution as a band. But One Shot, again, nothing that I ever played in echo movement was particularly crazy hard or anything like that. You know, it was just a bunch of, it was all about the feel. Just kind of going off of last time. Echo movement was, it's a reggae band, so in reggae music you can't just slay your instrument. It's all about space, letting the bass line breathe and the vocals breathe, that's really what it comes down to, is the melodies and the singer and the bass guitar, and everybody else is just playing simple rhythms and providing a feel. So One Shot was a swingy, shuffly feel, and I actually took a drum beat that Steve, the singer, played, because again, remember, Steve was the original singer and drummer of Echo Movement. He sang and lead vocals and played drums at the same time, which is pretty incredible. So it just has this little kind of swing feel. And here's the basic groove of One Shot before I start the song. Pretty simple, bouncy feel, all right? So you see how I incorporated that, and then as we got better as a band and as we added more parts with more musicians, we kind of put a rocking part at the end. You'll hear me rock out and stuff like that. But enough talking already. Let's get to playing, right? That's what we're here for. So this song is called One Shot. I might miss the first bar here as I hit play and come in, but that's okay. All right, here we go. One Shot. This is off the Music Played On album.
I got, yeah, one shot. One shot, that's all I got, yeah, one shot. You run too high. Only held together by the gravity in space. I can feel the vibration.
One shot. I remember most of that. Some of those fills, I'm going to put some fills in the wrong place because I can't remember what we did on the album, and live we've changed it 1,000 times. But just to go over the beats again, just real quick, it's a swingy shuffle, you know, that kind of half swung shuffle that I would say like Sublime really in the rock reggae world made really popular, you know. And I used a two-hand approach instead of like a... I could have done that. And I do that in some later tunes, but again, Dave and Steve Fowler, that is the guys that ran the band, just in case, you know, I'm sure everybody here knows who Echo Movement is that's watching, but, you know, in case you're not, Echo Movement was a band of 7 dudes, but it started with 2 brothers, Dave and Steve Fowler. Steve was the lead singer, and Dave was the songwriter and the keyboard player. And there was a time those two were they were the entire band. Steve sang and played drums at the same time, which again is just unbelievable. I have some pretty good coordination, but I could never sing lead vocals well, or sing at all for that matter, and then play drum set at the same time. And Dave would play 3 keyboards, left-hand bass, and then 2 other organs and stuff, crazy stuff. But Steve always played with 2 hands like this. When I auditioned for the band and started playing with them and stuff, they really wanted to keep it the same. So I took it and I added some, like, you know, Swiss triplet sticking. Like that stuff. And then when I played the 1-drop breakdown, stuff like that. I did a lot of Swiss sticking. So with that. Alright, so practice your Swiss sticking. You can do stuff like that too. Other stuff about One Shot, if you listen to it. Sorry, I took some notes here because I tend to freeze up when I actually talk to people. You know, it had like those iconic Echo Movement fills where, remember, in reggae music it's about not playing on one. Laying off on one, so I would either lay off on one or I would play like a strong snare drum on one to accent the space, you know, so you go like, or you can lay off. Lay off the space, hit on beat 2. So One Shot had a bunch of that, and at the end, you'll probably notice I don't even have a ride cymbal set up. I almost never hit the ride cymbal with Echo Movement. Just reggae is really focused on the hi-hat, even if you're doing rock stuff. So I just kind of got lazy and didn't set it up. Over here, I would always have a timbali. I don't have a timbali here. So I'm just using a little 13 snare drum. So not the best sound, but you get the idea. And that was pretty much my setup. Just 2 crashes, a splash, ride cymbal, and then that's pretty much it. So other stuff in one shot. In that particular album, we really tried to use like roots reggae percussion. So if you actually listen, and another song I want to play next, and this one, there's cowbell, there's wood blocks, there's glass bottle. That was a big thing in roots reggae music. These guys would play like on a glass bottle. It had this awesome little sound. So I tried to do all that stuff in the studio to keep the roots reggae feel legit and part of our music instead of just going all the way rock reggae with it and abandoning the roots. You know, we were really passionate about percussion and stuff like that. Okay, so enough talking about that. The next song needs no introduction. This song is called Ganja. And this song is a great example of really awesome lyric writing about a important social topic. So I'm going to play it, and then I'll talk about it afterwards. In terms of the beat, this is a very straight-ahead, non-swung, like... real slow kind of jam, not a lot of drumming, leaving space for all the instruments to speak. Let's get into it. Here we go. I'll try to get the pickup.
The government get up
clocked in at 4 minutes and 20 seconds there. Awesome. Okay, so that was a popular song. Again, that was a very early Echo Movement song, just when it was just those two guys. Obviously about an interesting and controversial topic, you know. One thing I always sing the praise of about Echo Movement, there's a couple things. I'm super proud of the band. Love all the guys. We're all talented and stuff like that, and it was a lot of fun. But the lyrics that Dave wrote, I tried to take some notes on some lyrics this time around because the dude can write some amazing poetic lyrics, you know. So this song, which is, you know, obviously a popular topic here, I just wanted to read the open verse, the first verse, you know, just speaking it instead of singing along. And you guys, you know, check out the music, you know, go back to it. I know it's been a while, but, and actually listen to the words. Every one of our songs had a really important or silly meaning, but every song is a story about our life. There's no filler, there's no BS. It really, every song is an Echo Movement story. So the opening lyrics of this song was, some they say, why'd they take my choice? To them we say, freedom is my voice. This is the good one. If the government cared about your health, cigarettes and liquor would be off the shelf. Propaganda feeds the hungry beast. The government is best which governs least. When's the last time you heard someone say that, right? Not for a while, probably. So, really awesome lyrics, you know, well-written, poetic, and also just on the money in terms of what it's discussing, you know. And you can find videos on YouTube with the lyrics of the whole song. It's a nice little history lesson of stuff like that. So check it out. Otherwise, right at the end of the song here, when the beat cuts out, you can hear the percussion. Check it out real quick. Hopefully you can hear that in the live stream. That's glass bottle. I think it actually is 2 glass bottles, like a Corona and a Budweiser or something like that. There's always a beer bottle floating around the studio somewhere. And I would play on with little triangle beaters. And then there's also congas and bongos in there as well. So the bottle thing is very reggae. I don't know of another genre that uses that. Dub reggae and roots reggae, they would play on these bottles, sand blocks, you know, vibra slap, wood blocks, all these cool sounds, cowbell. So again, we tried to incorporate that in the studio when we played that. Cool. So far, so good. All right. So the next song is a weird choice. It's not a song we ever played live. It's really short, so bear with me. There's a reason why I chose it. So this song is called I Know Why, and it was on our first album, In the Ocean. And it's kind of just, it's got vocals, but it's just kind of an instrumental. What makes it unique is there is a drum line in this recording. So, you know, if you don't know me or my background is in marching percussion. I marched in a drum line in a drum corps called the Boston Crusaders. And Old Bridge High School and the New York Skyliners when I was growing up and all that stuff. So drumline's a big part of my life, a huge part. It molded me to who I am. And Dave was always looking to bring in creative elements to the studio. And when we got to know each other more, he saw the drumline stuff that I did. And he wanted to do something with drumline. I was like, yeah, let's do it. So let me get my notes out here. I Know Why features a drumline made up of myself, Chris Thatcher, and Jeff Silva on snare drum, and Rob Thatcher and Jeff Summers on tenors. And then all 5 of us played the bass drum parts separately on a separate track. And it was cool. We used some stuff that I wrote. When the song's playing and the drumline's just jamming in the background, I just wrote kind of simple grooves that went underneath. The thing at the beginning and the thing at the very end was something that Rob Thatcher wrote. It was something called a cadence or a street beat. That's what drumlines play in a parade when you're marching down the street, something groovy, you know, to fill the time as you're marching down. And Rob wrote that for a group called the Jersey Surf, which both him and I taught and wrote music for a long time. So Rob writes amazing drumline music all the time. So it was so groovy, I was like, I asked him if he would let us use it, and he said, yeah. And then he even played it with us in studio, so that was pretty cool. So I don't have a marching snare drum with me, so I'm just going to play it on concert snare drum, I'm sorry. But this is I Know Why. It features a drum line, and it features an interesting dance hall beat, so... sorry. squeeze in a fast little 7-stroke open roll in the middle of it. And we kind of go for like just a kind of looping drum machine sound based off that groove, and the drum line plays along. So I'm going to play the drumline part, and then I'll play the drum set groove in the middle, and I'll play the drumline stuff at the end. Hopefully I do it justice. I don't quite have the hands that I used to have. Alright, here we go. I know why. Oh yeah, and the last part. It features a speech by FDR, right in the middle of his tenure as president, which was very long, as you all know. And the American people were just living in poverty, pretty much. Bread lines, just depression, and just terrible. And this speech is about him taking back, a quality of life for the American people. So take from it what you will, but that's his speech, which was a big influence on Echo Movement and our thought process. Okay, here we go. I know why.
This is preeminently the time to speak the truth, the whole truth, frankly and boldly. Nor need we shrink from honestly facing conditions in our country today. This great nation will endure as it has endured, will revive and will prosper. So first of all, let me assert my firm belief that the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. The people perish. Yes, the money changers have fled from their high seats in the temple of our civilization. We may now restore that temple to the ancient truth.
Cool. All right. So that was just a little not an instrumental, but just a fun track. Never meant to be like a song. We never played it live, unfortunately. Maybe one day, you never know. But and just FDR speaking, cool dance hall beat. Just just an interesting kind of artistic song. You know what I'm saying? But the drumline beat was really cool, and the way that. Just a little behind the scenes, just to show you how different the world is, not the world, but how different the thought process is, both inside the drumline world and outside. When you hear the song start off, you hear a lone drummer going, and that's called a tap off. So in a drumline, it's not actually really done that much anymore, but I'm dating myself a little bit, but the center snare drummer will tap off like that, and then the drumline comes in and plays. That was never meant to be in the recording. But, Dave coming from an outside world, not knowing anything about drumline really, now he knows some because he's been hanging out with me for a long time, but he left it in, and at first I was like, oh, we gotta take that out, but I was so programmed as a drumline guy that immediately I'm just like, oh, you can't do that. I'm like, wait a minute, why not? And he was like, dude, why not? I love that part. It's one of my favorite things, and it just, what a different perspective, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is a guy saying, oh, the tap off, oh, it's really cool, I like that. Whereas we would be like, oh, you gotta take that out, you know what I'm saying? So, just food for thought on, how people think and stuff like that. But yeah, I played some of the drumline stuff. Maybe it's better. I played on a concert snare drum. Might have been a little scrubby on a marching snare drum there. Don't quite have the marching hands I had anymore. But I always liked that song. I wanted to do it live. So we did it on a live stream. We're quarantined at home and all stuck together. And that's fine enough for me. Okay, the next song. So, so far the songs I've played so far, including this one, are early Echo Movement. So this next song is called 15 Minutes. Fans of Echo Movement from early on would know this song. we definitely played this song a lot when we did Warped Tour initially. And the reason is, it's more of a ska song, but traditional ska, not the kind of ska, you know, Real Big Fish, Streetlight, Less Than Jake, all that kind of stuff we listen to now. More like the Scotalites, the Toasters, who we actually opened up for one time. Fun story. Highline Ballroom, I think. The Toasters, awesome band, really nice guys. Sorry about that. I don't know what that was. So this seems like an easy song to play, but it's actually a real pain because it goes from like a very slow open beat to something fast, and then it has this interesting beat. I'll call it a ska one drop. So it goes against everything as rock drumming. We're used to like, backbeats on 2 and 4, bass drum in between, all that kind of stuff. Here is the ska beat, the traditional ska beat I play. So 1, 2, 3, 4. If you'll notice, similarity to reggae is you don't play on 1. Sorry, I'm messing up myself by talking. 1. Notice I'm laying off a beat 1. And again, now I can play that stuff and it's all good, but it goes against the grain of everything if you have a rock upbringing. It took a while to be able to play that. It was a humbling experience for sure. All right, I'm going to try to get this opening attack. I play a fast double roll, and I start the beat, and I have no idea how many counts it is when the song starts, so I'm probably going to miss it and mess it up, but we'll make it work. All right, 15 minutes. Make sure I'm ready here. Okay. Short little song, fun, you know, nothing too crazy. Maybe a good representation of us, like, being pretty young and stuff like that. Oh, hey, family. Being young and all that stuff. Again, that song's kind of a pain to play because the first beat is... It's all linear. It's not. It doesn't look that hard, but making that even, especially in the studio when you gotta be like locked in with the click, and then going from this to this, and all that kind of stuff. A little sloppy. Sorry. it's two different tendencies. This is all open, don't rush. And then, so they all have different kinds of tendencies and stuff like that. All right. That's my son. He's talking all loud and stuff like that. I'm just going to check the feed real quick. Little halftime break here. Just make sure you can hear things. I can see comments coming. I just want to make sure they're all good. Oh, thanks, Chris. Okay, cool. Sounds like we can hear. That's good. All right. Very good. Cool. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Cool. All right. We're all good. Awesome. Okay. So that was a fun little song. That was popular at Warped Tour. You know, there's a lot of like ska bands and punk bands, and when we did that stuff, the crowd liked that, especially the ska fans. So, and a lot of fun to play. All right. So that brings me to my next song, which is called "Some Girls Are Crazy," which is an old song. My wife's watching. She doesn't like the title of that one. Sorry. Again, this is you know, the lyrics on this are very, very, very on point. Hello, son. How you doing? Say hi. Okay, cool. All right. So, sorry, I lost my train of thought here. So, really funny song. You know, definitely a strong statement. And again, I just, you know, another life story about us when we were younger. Ah! Big attack. One more time. Ah! We gotta do the phone one. You gotta do the phone too. Gotta do the phone. There we go. All right. Yes. Yeah, he's drumming along. All right, cool. All right, this one's pretty fast. It's typical kind of one of those ones, you know. I do a lot of that punch on one now, and that was another Echo Movement staple. Again, either accenting beat one or laying off of it in terms of reggae. I do that a lot in this one. And then there's a funny story at the end of this one about something called the Earth Bell, which I'm definitely going to tell that story. All right, Some Girls Are Crazy. I'm going to miss this fill as well, probably in the beginning, so bear with me. All right.
Some girls are crazy. You with three jobs and she still calls you late. I don't think no fool, but some girls are crazy. She's got a way to make that fine line so gay. A little background met a girl, she's like a jewel. One time I come to realize she's not that cool. She got makeup, she takes on her soul. When it rains, she just loses control. In her mind, I'm a night girl. Don't be no fool, brother. Some girls are crazy. You with three jobs and she still calls you late. Don't be no fool, but some girls are crazy. She's got a way to make that fine line so gay. My new girl keeps a lot of guys she calls best friends. But I see through a shady eye when each intense. The phone rings in the middle of the night. She picks up to a drunken invite. It gets pissed when it causes a fight like crazy. Some girls are crazy. She's got a way to make that fine line so hazy. The eyes and lies arise, they hypnotize. So it seems my girl's a actress in disguise. She got caught in the web of her lies. I'll find time to undo all my ties. And as sure as the sun will rise, I feel my goodbye.
Cool. All right, so that was another early Echo Movement song. high energy, you know. So we have the straight ahead 16th reggae beat, you know, that we like to do in Echo Movement. And then the timbali will lead you into the dancehall. In there. Song featured a nice keyboard solo by Dave, you know. Dave, when he played keyboard solos, it was always more about, it was definitely a solo and it showed off his chops, stuff like that, but it wasn't like, oh, I'm improvising and check me play all these out chords and my chops. It was always melodic and it fit within the song, and that was something I always liked and respected about it. You know, it was always about serving the music first, and coming out of a jam band background prior to Echo Movement, coming out of college and playing in a lot of like jazz combo groups where you're improvising every measure and making it up, and that fits that genre. We tried to stay disciplined as a band. You know, we had awesome musicians in the band. Everybody was really good, well trained. Almost everybody was a music major in college, blah blah blah. But none of that matters when you're in a band. You know, what matters is you know your role. You know, and reggae by nature is minimalistic. Again, the bass guitar and the singer are the melodic elements, really. You got guitars playing upbeats and simple open drum beats. You know, and we were a 7-piece band. You know, we had 2 horns, you know, guitar, bass, keys, singer, drummer, you know. So we had to be responsible with, you know, where we would use our chops and where we would get to speak. And Dave and Steve were always super disciplined about that. You know, there was times we wanted to rip more or something like that, and they were like, no, you know, and we always had to serve the purpose of the music first, and it was a good experience for us. We did open things up live a little bit and stuff like that, and, you know, as we went along, we would jam on some stuff longer, but, you know, that's why we enjoy the music, and we still like it to this day, you know, because it's about the words and the feel and the vibe. So, I don't think I have any other notes on Some Girls Are Crazy. Oh yeah, I do, the story. Okay, so I made a look. This is classic us, and I do want to tell this story. Hopefully it's funny to you, it's hilarious to me, and if not, well, it's an inside joke and whatever, you know. In the middle of the second verse, you heard a little boing. We had something called the Earth Bell. It's a little LP metallic tube, and you hit it with a little rubber ball on a stick, and it has a hole on it. When you hit it, it goes boing, one little metal chime. And we would use it all the time in practice. It made a funny sound. It became a joke. And then the joke turned into a pretend cult we had where we worshiped the Earth Bell. And sometimes in practice, we would get distracted and start messing around. We would hit the Earth Bell, and we would start just like going, Earth Bell. We would start, you know, the Earth Bell commands you to find inner peace. So just say all this weird, you know, new agey kind of stuff. And that spiraled for a long time. It's still a joke to this day. We will text each other and know about the Earth Bell because we're children forever, you know. We were having auditions a long time ago for horn players, and a certain trombone player that did not end up playing in the band showed up very late and didn't really make the best impression, you know. We were waiting for like an hour. Person finally showed up, and we started playing, and the Earth Bell comes out. And we started doing our joke here and there, ha ha ha. And then our guitar player, Dan Guger, gets behind the mic and starts going, the Earth Bell helps you find balance. And then all of a sudden, Dave starts playing these pad chords that are all, you know, heady and tripped out. And then John Butts, our bass player, starts coming in. And before you know it, all of us are jamming. And Dan is just speaking this, like, mantra stuff about the Earth Bell. We did this for, like, 15 straight minutes. And this poor person auditioning for trombone just sat there on a futon like, what the hell is going on? I swear it was like 15-minute jam. And we were just like, you know, just jamming out. And Dan was like, the Earth Bell provides for all. And 15 minutes later, we stopped this jam. We're like, all right, let's play music. And I think we played 2 songs, and the trombone player left and never talked to us ever again. And that is a great little microcosm of how we were at Echo Movement. Super weird and funny and dumb and weirding people out at all times. All right, next song. Next song is definitely one of my favorites. It's called Downtime. Not really reggae, a little more funky. it's got a 4 on the floor beat. We could be playing like, oh, we got the main stage on the Warped Tour and we're playing for like 1,000 people or something like that. Or, oh my God, there's like 10 people in this club in the middle of Georgia. Great. Anytime we play this, people will start dancing. And why? It's got 4 on the floor. And then this. And that's pretty much downtime. That's a little breakdown in the middle, but it's a very simple beat. Again, this is like an original Echo Movement song. When Steve played it as a singer, he did 2 hands. I could have, but they wanted this, so that led me to find some other kinds of ways to do accents on the snare and the open hi-hat, so I played on the You know, and that open was important. That was a hook of the song, so I had to be consistent with that. All right, enough talk. Let's play Downtime, and then we'll talk about it at the end again. All right? Again, this is a song that is, the lyrics are really about our experience of trying to be musicians and being a band, and life just sucking because we were broke, and we felt like embarrassments because, you know, we were like in our early 20s, post-college years, and all of our friends have careers, getting married, you know, starting their lives, buying houses, and we're just like poor as hell, you know, and trying to make it. And it's a lot harder to do that than you would think. It's a big swallowing of ego, but we'll talk about that after the song. Let's get jamming to some Downtime here.
Ain't got no money to be spending.
right, so that was Downtime. I played a couple wrong fills in there, but whatever. Really fun tune. That sax solo at the end, that was Matt Lepic. He was just tearing it up. Awesome sax player. And Woodwind Doubler, who plays on, I think Matt plays on Aladdin now on Broadway. He's become a really successful Broadway musician. So, Matt, when we played that live, we would jam on that for a long time, and Matt would just slay the saxophone, and people would be like, woo! You know, so, really fun tune. Nothing much else to say about that drumming-wise. It was a 4 on the floor. I do like to hit the floor tom on the end of 4 once in a while. I just like the sound of like boom. I'm big into like the decay of the toms. I do have moon gel on here just for this because I think it helps to hear on the little crappy cell phones I'm using. But I never put anything on my drums ever. I had a big drum set, 10, 12, 16 by 16. My bass drum was a 22 and it was 24 inches long. That's 2 feet. It was ridiculous. It was awesome. Awesome drum set by a New Jersey drum maker called Dark Horse Percussion. I used their drums all during out Echo Movement times. I got to use 2 custom kits, and they were amazing, and they sounded great. And I was really proud to use them, and people were always like, wow, those are amazing drums. I got to talk shop about it. But, you know, I just like the sound of doom, you know, like that decay on the end of 4. So I'll do something like this. I also like to use this and this at the end. You know, just simple little elements like that. If I had a ton of moon gel or dead toms, it wouldn't go doom, it would just go bleh. You know, so hopefully you're catching a little bit of that resonance. I don't know on a live stream if you're going to catch that, but that's what I was going for. Downtime had, again, the whole song, if you listen to the words, is telling the story about the band and what it was like for us trying to make a career out of what we were doing and make ends meet, you know. Some of the guys had full-time jobs. Dave and Steve sacrificed their entire 20s to run and finance every component of the band, which is something I can't even begin to tell a story about to make you understand what a sacrifice that was. Again, we were all, you know, in our early 20s and spent pretty much our 20s, or and a little bit beyond for some of us, trying to do this band and tour, you know, and I was a part-time teacher during the Echo Movement times. I taught at Wall Central Elementary, but it was only part-time. I taught elementary band in the morning only, and then I would go home. So pretty much another fun little tidbit about Echo Movement was all 3 of these albums. You know, usually when you think about recording an album, it's like in a studio when it's late at night, hazy room, you know, setting the vibe. That was not really how I did my recording. I would go to work at Wall Central Elementary in my shirt and tie, and then at 10 a.m. I would leave. I would just teach 1 class in the morning, part-time job, leave, go down the street to the studio, and in my teacher wear, my shirt and tie, I might take my tie off, I put some sneakers on, and all these tracks I recorded like wearing my work clothes pretty much after teaching in elementary school for half the day, you know. So that was Echo Movement, that was us. So I just wanted to read a little lyric from Downtime real quick. It's the opening phrase, it's like the hook of the song, but again, just if I speak the words, it kind of makes sense about where we were in our lives. So it's so hard, got no money to be spending, that was true. Downtime when your life is just beginning. Which was true also, our 20s, and we're dirt poor trying to be in a band, you know, scruffing and trying to make it. Downtown mid-September, can't remember my last check, super accurate. Playing dirty bars and cheap cigars to get me out of debt, and that was definitely what we were doing. We were doing original and cover gigs in all sorts of seedy bars all over the place to make some cash, you know, not very luxurious kind of hang. Baby, don't leave, just let it be. Give me time, but let it be. And that is obviously the plea to all of our significant others who are sitting here watching us passionately try to work hard to make this business work that we were starting ourselves. You know, and the thing about being a band is nobody believes in you or supports you unless you're successful. If you're successful, it's totally legit. And it's all good, and yeah, you're a rock star, but if you're trying and you're playing, you know, small clubs, people know who you are, you're wasting your life. You know what I'm saying? That's how people are. It sucks, but it's the way it is. And it was very hard for us a lot to swallow our pride and deal with that. Even when things were going a little better, it was still really hard. It was always an uphill battle. It was always the world against us, and we're all much more resilient for doing that because it was really hard. Very character building kind of experience. Okay, next song. This one's off the newest album. It's called Awake Behind. This is an awesome song again. Mid-tempo kind of reggae groove. Again, nothing too special. I spiced it up a little bit, added a little bit more. This is the last album with the band, so the most recent lineup, a little more, songwriting stuff. So let's get to play. I've been talking for a minute. Awake Behind.
I can feel the world turn as I leave my home behind. Speed into a setting sun, I see inside my mind. When I peer into the side view mirrors of my dreams, the past is always closer than it seems.
Cool. Always like that ending. I don't know where Dave got that idea, but turn it down like that. So that was called Awake Behind. And again, Awake Behind, being like, water, nautical, ocean kind of reference. Again, the guys are from the shore, you know what I'm saying? And that's where they were raised, true locals, played in Belmar all the time and all the surrounding areas down there. So I live in Monmouth County, but a little more north. So I'm in Central Jersey, which does exist. Don't want to hear any other argument against it. There is a Central Jersey. End of story. All right. But those guys, they are the living embodiment of the shore area, the true local shore area, not the BS that you see on TV or the atrocity that was Jersey Shore, the show MTV, which I'll never stop saying is an embarrassment to all of humanity. That is not the Jersey Shore. So, Awake Behind. I just want to read, again, the lyrics in this song are just, again, super poetic and creative and spot on about our experiences as a band, but also just, you know, the ocean and shore culture that we're from. So let's see. This is the main hook of the song, so I wanted to read these lyrics also. I can feel the world turn as I leave my home behind. It's beating to a setting sun. I see inside my mind. When I peer into the side view mirror of my dreams, the past is always closer than it seems. I mean, that's awesome. You know, lyrics, poetry, again, that's Dave Farrell right there. You know, all our songs, you know, I mean, we sing about funny, some girls are crazy, you know, ganja, stuff like that. You know, we had our fun too, but like, you know, our music had very meaningful, applicable lyrics to our everyday life, and Dave was a wordsmith and it was beautiful stuff. Super proud of that. So definitely try to re-listen and stuff like that. Okay. So let's see. Any other notes? I got one more song left, and then we're done. And then I'll come say hi, check out some comments and stuff like that. Hopefully it sounded good. And you know, if you have any requests, I will happily do that. Instagram, you have 1 minute left. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop this one real quick, and I'm going to hit restart. So just bear with me 1 second. Facebook, don't leave, don't leave, don't leave. And now. Sorry, Facebook, I know this is incredibly boring, but I don't want to leave Instagram behind. All right, Instagram, I hope you come back. Come back and join us, all right? Okay, cool, so I'm going to do that. Oh, let's see, Brandon. I first saw you guys opening for Dirty Heads in 2010, and I hunted down the self-titled and On My Way albums. Wow, good job, man. The self-titled and On My Way were the first two albums. I played on the second one a little bit, but we took those off the iTunes and just out of circulation because when the band changed personnel, you know, our sound changed so much. So the music played on album was all the best songs that we felt were hits, you know, from those first two albums. And we did them again with the new band, cleaned it up, and did a much better stuff. Greg Cox, thanks for the grooves. Thank you, man. Awesome. Cool. Well, I have one more groove for you. So this last song is a song we only play live one time ever, and it was on the release of our last album called Love and the Human Outreach. So again, I'll try to give a quick background about Love and the Human Outreach. It's really a piece of art that is just amazing. More or less, the entire album is a love letter to the cosmos and specifically Carl Sagan. So last live stream I played a song called Entangled, which the lyrics sound like a love song, but it's also about quantum entanglement. I talked last time, and I'll go over it again just real quick if you didn't see the last one, that Dave Fowler actually did a scientific experiment, if you will, with SETI and the Georgia Tech Institute, I believe, where they found the way that pulsars and dying stars shine their light across the vastness of space. And they created a mathematical formula that turned the way the light shines of a dying star, and they turned it into frequencies, which are notes, right? And then they kind of just hit play on this equation, and all this beautiful music came out. So this song I'm about to play, I wanted to do it because, not because I play anything amazing, I'll show you the drum beat in a second, but every album we tried to have one, if not two, big songs that were a little slower in groove, that were meant for you to put your headphones on and get lost in a world. You know, we did a little more studio editing on the drums instead of just kind of live performance, you know, and we really went deep with it. So this last song is called Love and the Human Outreach, which is also the title of the album. In it, you're going to hear, right in the beginning, you're going to hear this kind of spacey synth. That is the music that we got out of this experiment that they did with SETI and Georgia Tech Institute. You're hearing the music of the universe, of the stars. You know, they turned the way the light travels into a mathematical formula. That formula turned the light and stuff like that into actual frequencies. And Dave hit play, and all this beautiful stuff came out, and then he wrote a song to that, more or less. Other interesting facts about it, the entire song is one chord. There is no chord changes whatsoever. And I remember Dave talking to me and Dan Guger about it, our guitar player, and he asked, like, do you guys know any songs that are just one chord? I'm kind of afraid of this, you know? And, we said, yeah, Bo Diddley. There's a song called Bo Diddley, and the song is called Bo Diddley. It's one song, one chord there. So I'm going to play the groove for you now. I'm kind of talking too much. I'm sorry. I hope I'm not losing you guys. This is the last one. So we only played this one time live. This is not really a live song. And the fun thing was, Dave wrote the drum groove for this pretty much, and he programmed the drums when he sent me the scratch track. And again, just the creativity. Dave is not a drum set player, so he writes a groove, and he's just writing different elements, you know, in Pro Tools and arranging it. And then my job was to come make it work for drum set. So I played left-hand lead on this one, which I don't do often, so it was kind of challenging to get this loop going. So I'm going to break it down for you and show you how it goes real quick. Also, it's secretly me just getting one more time on this. I actually had to write it down because I can't remember it. So the hi-hat played. Now, if I add just the kick and the back beats, it's a pretty simple groove. But there was snare drum and tom interaction that's not very drum set-like in terms of where it falls, but I had to learn the coordination to make it work. So we got this. That. Oh, God. I'm still struggling with it here and there, so I'll do my best, all right? So I got nothing to hide. It's a hard groove. I played it one time in my life, and it's not even really meant for drum set, but you got to figure it out, right? So here is Love and the Human Outreach. Absolutely beautiful piece of music. It's kind of a long jam. Just enjoy the ride, and then we'll wrap up at the end, and we'll talk a little bit and all that good stuff. All right. Remember, at the beginning, this is the actual music of the universe with the mathematical formula we did.
Salvete quicunque estis, bonum erga vos voluntatem habemus, et pacem per astra ferimus.
Paz e felicidade a todos. अस्सलाम वालेकुम। हम ज़मीन के रहने वालों की तरफ से आपको खुश आमदीद कहते हैं।
こんにちは。お元気ですか？
Sonada
All right, cool. So that was called Loving the Human Outreach. One thing I forgot to say at the beginning was the first thing you hear, all those children speaking, that was the golden record on the first Voyager satellite. That was launched in the 70s, and that is like beyond the bounds of our solar system right now. So any intelligent life that finds that and can get that bad boy playing, that's what they're going to hear. Hello from the people of the planet Earth, or citizens, whatever he says. But that is straight up from Voyager. Again, just another detail added to this love letter of the cosmos and space, and the great beyond. So I'm glad I got that drum beat together. I thought I was going to choke for a second, so let me play it now that I'm a little more comfortable. It's not, again, not choppy or notey, but it was really annoying to play like this and reach underneath for all the toms, so I decided, let me learn it left-handed. I tried to keep the shaping in the hi-hat instead of just all one volume, you know what I'm saying? And, yeah, a little bit of coordination needed there, all right? So, that was the last song. Let me think if there's any other notes I wanted to say before I went. No, that's it. So I'm going to come over to the camera and say hi to you guys, see what people have been writing, because I see some comments flying there. Okay. It looks harder than it looks. I'm glad it looks hard. That's cool. I could have pretended that it was, but it's challenging in terms of coordination and stuff like that. As you can see, I had to work on that for a second. And then trying to actually make the hi-hat have some shaping to it, musicality, ta-ta-ta-ta, and left-handed lead, which is not a strength of mine. I don't play left-handed lead that much as I should, right? So, yeah, what else we got here? Nobody Dies in Vain. That is a great song. If I do another one, maybe we'll touch on that one. Ryan Robert Guger there. Oh, thank you. And the Ocean was a great album. Thank you so much. Yeah, all right, lots of stuff. All right. Lots of great stuff. Michael Gorman, thank you. Mad respect for being able to turn music into a life. It can definitely be rough. Yes, it was, I mean, I love Echo Movement to death, but it was not easy. We worked really hard. Again, the band was completely DIY. There was no record label or publicist or booking agent. We earned everything ourselves. We did it completely ourselves. So, again, Dave and Steve really ran the business. Steve not only was the lead singer, but, him and Dave wrote the songs together. Steve was the web developer. Steve was the booking agent. He was the one making all the gigs and the deals happening. You know what I'm saying? And Dave, and Steve, also just side note, Steve has a degree in architecture. So Dave and Steve really building what we have, our bunks and our buses and stuff with their bare hands. Dave has a degree in journalism and was our publicist and our songwriter and stuff like that, Do we have any plans to perform again? Not right now. No, we don't. Right now, we're all almost all of us are first-time parents now. Some of us quite literally. Nick Afflito, our trumpet player, and Matt Lepic, our sax player, just had their first child, so congratulations, guys. Hey, come here. This is my son. He'll probably not stay still, but that's Lachlan. Say hi. Can you say hi? Say hello. Yeah, that's a good one. All right, very good, very good, very good. Thank you, Mommy. I wouldn't say never. We talk all the time. We have group chats still, we're just doing other things right now. Most of us, me, Dan, the guitar player, John Butts, the bass player, and Nick Afflito are school teachers. We teach music, but I'm an arranger and a composer and stuff like that. Nick is a producer as well, and an independent musician. Matt plays on Broadway. John's doing all sorts of stuff with music, outside of his teaching. He teaches a lot of private lessons and stuff like that. Dave has an awesome job. I can't tell you exactly the name of the company, but he's like the chief estimator and kicking butt. And Steve, you know, like designs technology systems at a university and trains the professors how to use them and stuff like that and makes it run. So his life is very difficult right now with all the remote teaching going on, you know. But Nico Vincent, you guys were easily on your way to being the most innovative reggae band in the country. Oh, dude, thank you. That's like a huge compliment. Thank you, Nico. I'll talk about that real quick. We did try to be innovative without like, I don't know, I would say violating what reggae should be, you know. Again, Dave and Steve they are extremely knowledgeable about reggae, much more than, you know, appearances might show, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, not just like sublime reggae and stuff like that, but like roots reggae, dub. Like we listened to a lot of that stuff, you know, we were influenced by that. So, you know, we tried to be innovative, you know, innovative doesn't mean success, you know, fortunately / unfortunately, you know, this is a little bit of personal opinion, but, you know, the world wants reggae music sometimes to be flat-billed baseball caps and, you know, sing about, you know, partying and stuff like that and mindless lyrics. And there's nothing wrong with that. We did that ourselves, you know what I'm saying? But the world doesn't always want high art when it comes to reggae, you know what I'm saying? So we battled against that sometimes. But at least we could say that we were undoubtedly ourselves through and through. We did not sell out, whatever that means, you know, or try to be something we weren't. We were ourselves till the very end and continue to be to this day, you know. So thank you for all the comments there. Oh, Marin Teague, hello, how you doing? Yeah. Let's see. Whip out my flat brim. My Mets hat is upstairs. Still mad about it, Eds. Leave me alone, all right? They're not that great, you know. So, Instagram, how we doing? Cool. I'm not as busy, but hi, guys. Awesome. You and Stuart Copeland, how at work? Yes, thank you, Brandon. Stuart Copeland's a huge influence on me. Definitely, like, maybe number one, I'd say Stuart Copeland, Chad Sexton, 311. What was the drummer's name from Modesty? Jonah David, I think, was his name. Stan Moore was another huge influence on me. Tommy Igo, not in terms of reggae drumming, but I actually took some lessons with him a long time ago, and I just became a better drummer by playing out of his books and, you know, him beating me up in his lessons and stuff like that. Jack, how you doing, man? Let's see. Loving the Human Outreach is still one of my favorite albums. Your music is genuine and appreciated. I ended up turning my dad into a big fan of yours. Oh, awesome. Thank you, Jack. I appreciate the genuine compliment. We are genuine. Again, every song is a story about something that's happened in our lives or one person or our journey about being a band or just what we love about the world, you know. We always kept it positive. Like that's who we were. We wanted to spread positivity. We wanted to make people feel good and be innovative, you know, and not innovative, I'm sorry, inspired, stuff like that. We loved hanging out with people on tour. You know, there were times we, you know, like when we did Warped Tour and stuff, we got thousands of people every day. We were selling ourselves, passing out CDs and all that stuff, working really hard. And there's times we did self-headlining tours in small clubs for crowds of like, you know, 25 to 100 people at the most, maybe, you know. We always hung out with all the bands that would open for us that were like the big local bands. We had crazy hangs in like the swamps of Mississippi and Louisiana and the mountains of Canada. We had a very interesting free day in Vancouver, in New Orleans. Really, really cool stuff. And we got to meet a lot of people. Oh, fun story. One time, this is for you, Jeremy, if you're watching. We were on tour in Wyoming, and we decided to get food, and we were so homesick that our friend, a good friend Jeremy, who was actually on tour with us, our very first tour ever, helping us with merch and stuff like that, and also helping us get sponsors and stuff. He ordered a calzone, and the best thing I could describe it was just like an atrocity of pasta with ketchup poured all over it. So don't get a calzone in Wyoming. And then our guitar player, Ed, decided to have me try some Rocky Mountain oysters. And I was like, oh, cool, I love oysters. Look them up. It's not oysters. It was tasty, but afterwards I was like, oh, damn, thanks, man. Oh, Jack, you caught us at Nelson Ledges Quarry Park some years ago with Tropidelic. Oh, yeah, man. Tropicalic's an awesome band, super cool guys, and they're still at it. I mean, they're doing really well, really well, you know, so good for them. They were an awesome band that, they were one of the few bands, they were genuine, they wanted to help us when we went out to Cleveland, they always took care of us, you know. It's a slog, you know, like, there's not a lot of friends out there. When you're like a mid-level band that's like trying to break through and, you know, you're not really there, people are just backbiting you all the time. We did struggle with getting respect from people. Being a reggae band from New Jersey, you know, the West Coast, not everybody, but a lot of the West Coast in the business was not feeling that. You know, a bunch of school teachers from New Jersey playing reggae. We didn't look the part, you know what I'm saying? Then when we met people, you know, we had a good time, you know. Who was out there? We did some runs with the B Foundation. They were fun guys. They were really cool. That was like a band that was doing a lot of touring and stuff like that at the time. Tomorrow's Bad Seeds, I think they were from California too. But yeah, it was hard, you know. Again, you know, we're singing about the cosmos and stuff like that, and you know, it was a tough sell. You know what I'm saying? So, but we did it. You know, we were ourselves. So one last thing I'd like to leave you with that you should check out is, and I've neglected to mention it until now, but I didn't forget, is our friend Jay Alders. He is an amazing artist, internationally famous artist from New Jersey, at the shore. You know, he's down by the shore. He's with one of our guys. You know, he did 2 of our album covers. So let me see here. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to bring my laptop over. No, you know, I'm not going to bother because it's going to look like crap. But Jay Alders, he painted our first album cover and our last one. The first one is 2 people on a beach, guitar player and a bongo player. We actually played music in his house with our, you know, our significant others and our good friends, and recorded it, and it's on our first album. It's called, oh God, what the hell is the song called? I have to look it up. Oh God, I forgot. I'm sorry. I'm looking it up because I'm embarrassed because I don't know the name of my own song. Oh yeah, The Day After Chill. So we recorded that at Jay's house, and he painted while we did it. And it's an actual painting that he did, but then we also used it as an album cover as well. Jay did our last album as well, which is the one I posted today, which is the sun in space with the little eclipse in front of it, and then all the stuff. I will say this: go back and look at that painting and that album cover, and zoom in around the sun, and in every part of the rays that are coming out of the sun are all sorts of hidden stuff in there. There's Adam and Eve holding hands. There's an atom with, you know, things surrounding it. All sorts of hidden stuff. Jay is just insanely talented. You know, crazy artist, super successful, still is kicking ass. You know, and he was a friend we made really early on. Dave and Steve knew him before even I joined the band, and you know, check out his artwork for sure. You will really like it, you know. So Jay Alders, Alders, you know. And Jay, if you're watching, shout out, bro. We love you, man. So that's all I got, guys. Thanks for hanging in there. People are still here, so I guess I'm not boring everybody to death, so that's cool. You know, I don't have anything else to share, you know. Again, Echo Movement was awesome. I absolutely love the band. All the dudes were like family. We're super tight. You know, we talk to this day. We go visit each other. Our kids play together now. We just laugh at ourselves that, like, you know, a decade ago we were on a tour bus, you know, evading arrest and, you know, all that kind of stuff. And now we're family people just doing our careers and stuff like that. We all still play and stuff like that. We do our thing. But it was really awesome time, you know. And I learned just as much being in Echo Movement as I did going to college for music and all that stuff as well. It was a super important professional musician experience that I still draw on to this day with the music that I write and the music that I play, how I teach people, you know, how I teach drum set players, stuff like that. So that's all I got, guys. So, I mean, thanks for hanging with me and stuff like that. I really appreciate it. You know, if I could just end with a thought, it would be, you know, go listen to our music still. You know, I know we don't play anymore and stuff like that, but the music's all there. You can buy it. You can buy the album on iTunes and not stream it. You know, the band makes 1/1000th of a penny every time we play, so that's not really bringing the money in for the guys. You know, but you know, purchase the music, download it, listen to it again, get back into it, you know, listen to the poetic nature of the lyrics, you know. I bet you'll find a lot of stuff that, you know, applies to your life as well. So thanks so much for doing the live stream with me. It's really cool to have an audience and play for you guys, and it was great to play the music again. And, you know, keep your eye on, I got some stuff going on my music page, so thanks for watching that. Please follow that. I have composer stuff that's on there, other kinds of things I'm doing, arranging. You know, I'm looking to get into some new stuff. And, you know, you might hear a little bit about something about Echo Movement in the coming weeks. Nothing major, but just something really cool. So stay tuned, you know what I'm saying? And just listen to our music and share with other people. That's all we ask, you know what I'm saying? And we really appreciate all you guys. So, all right, guys, I'm going to end the video now. Thank you for hanging. Really appreciate it. Please share this with as many people as you can. Not to show off drumming and stuff like that, but more just to get the band's name out there even to this day. You know what I'm saying? All right. Have a great night, and thank you. Bye-bye.